Started.
Or people who watch for genuine stuff.
Okay, hand.
The one in here. Now you just eye candy. Oh, weird. Just watching, not listening. They're just looking at you and how pretty you are. But me, they want to hear what I have to say.
They don't care about what I have to say.
Too pretty. Whose fault is it? Who?
Hi everyone. Hi fam. Sorry. Okay. Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
Welcome back to our channel, the Masekos. So this is our first video that we're shooting since we launched our YouTube channel, because we shot a bunch of videos. And I just thought it's appropriate before we get into today's video that we just say thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far.
Yeah.
Like, we're so grateful. We really are enjoying this. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of bloopers. But we appreciate the support, and we just really enjoying growing this from the ground up, and just slowly growing. And we appreciate those who comment, those who've subscribed and share our videos. Yes, those who've liked. It really means a lot. And we're just appreciative of the little community, the fact that we have over 100 subscribers. It's 100 people, individuals. That's really special, and we're so grateful. So just wanted to say thank you, and we just appreciate the support. So in today's video, hopefully it won't be too long, we'll be discussing deal breakers, or things we would have considered as deal breakers while dating, that would have called this a wrap, would have cut the relationship. There would be no the Masekos, and we just thought, let's just share our perspective.
All right. Basically what we decided that we will speak about are things that Michelle and we sat down and we spoke about it and decided, all right, what would have been a deal breaker if we had dated and she found certain things about me that she didn't like, or certain happenings. So that's what we're going to be discussing now. Just remember though, it's personal stuff, so there might be deal breakers for her and I, but we do concede that for some people it might be things they can tolerate, or some things they would be okay with, but so just remember that we're not discriminating against anyone. We're not giving advice saying, hey, if this is what's happening with your relationship or the partner you have at the moment, then run.
That way,
No. This is just between my wife and I. So the first one then, all right. The first one for me would obviously be cheating. Oh, I know, I don't want that.
I think cheating, I think it's an obvious one that most people agree on, is a deal breaker. But especially if it had happened while we're dating, where cheating happened, I don't think the dating phase is a phase for you to begezela and hold on and like behave like you are married to this person. It's really where you're supposed to really see, okay, God, is this person really for me? Is this the kind of relationship I need to be in? Because if they can cheat on you while you're dating,
probably cheat on you when you marry.
Whatever issues, I think, just to start off with, whatever issues or flaws that they have pre-marriage that you think are acceptable, just know that in marriage they're amplified. I don't know what it is about getting married. Whatever little thing, maybe if they're a little fidgety or if they are a little loud, when you get married,
this is becoming too personal. I thought it was general advice.
When you get married, it gets amplified. So don't tolerate it. I don't agree with tolerating heavy things like that, fidgeting and stuff. Of course, there's small things that you're like, this is not a deal breaker, but deal breaker, cheating is a deal breaker. And if you plan to have a family when you're married, and have kids, imagine bringing them into a household where there's a cheating spouse. It's really awful. So
no, it's not good. And it seems like it's been made to be normal in society. Some people,
it's not.
With things we observe in the media, of course, some people start seeing it as something that's part of relationships, you know. So with me, I've never cheated on my wife. And
Amen, hallelujah.
I wouldn't want her to cheat on me as well, you know. So, and I see it as it's a very complicated thing to resolve if we were dating, because it kills trust, and you can't build anything if it's not built on trust, and it's just not a good foundation. So yeah, that's number one for me. And
number two is abuse. That goes without saying. Physical abuse, definitely horrible. Emotional abuse as well, which is a bit trickier to pick up on, but I think if you're with someone who lowers your self-esteem in any way, self-confidence, makes you feel bad, like they don't bring out the best in you, you just, it's like you become a former shadow of yourself. And I think that's why also with relationships, it's important not to be an island. It's not the two of you against the world. You go into that relationship hopefully with people who you already have in your life that love you and support you, like your friends, your siblings, your parents, hopefully grandparents, whoever's in your life. And if they are telling you that you are not the person that you used to be in a bad way, like you're not growing, you're not now as happy, you know. With physical abuse, usually people, you know, start becoming more timid and closed up. Even with emotional abuse, they're not as confident, etc. So those are signs. Don't ignore the people around you because it's you and your man against the world. That is such a messed up mentality to have. You need a village, you need an island if you can have. I know some situations are special and difficult, of course. Not everyone comes from a loving, supporting background, but if you have that, tap into that, lean into that, to be honest, because even those kind of relationships teach you how to operate in your own relationship, in marriage, hopefully, you know, that background. So physical abuse is a no-no. You can't tolerate that. Emotional abuse is a no-no. There's no need for you to tolerate that. I, for one, have watched a lot of true crime cases. And I think there's a lot to be learned from those stories, because it's really sad that it's usually the spouse or the partner who kills the other one. It's so hectic, and there were signs beforehand and things that they tolerated. So yeah, for me, that would definitely have been a deal breaker. If this wonderful man laid his hand on me, I would have been heartbroken, of course, because you don't want that. It's hard to let go, I can imagine, but it's just something that is just not right. It's awful.
You should run. If I start strangling you, you should run. Yeah, don't stay.
Yeah, and not the sexy strangling.
Yeah. No. All right, the third thing, the fourth.
Please.
The third thing is, alcohol.
Hey, this one's controversial.
Drugs.
But yeah, this is our perspective.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. I don't drink.
Yeah, neither do I.
So yeah, for me, I wouldn't go for someone who drinks or smokes, you know, because I don't do those things. So I don't think it's unfair to expect my partner not to do them also. Keeping in mind though that there are some people who might not be drinking or smoking, but are okay with having a partner who drinks
and smokes. Yeah,
that's up to them. That's fine.
Totally,
yeah, this is me, and it's no discrimination. I don't know. It's not that I don't like people who don't drink. No. I love people who drink. But we're talking about choosing a life partner. This is something very personal. You have to choose that person for yourself. And this is someone you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, hopefully, you know. So when I made that decision, if Michelle didn't fall into that category, my standards weren't going to get lowered.
Yeah.
I was just gonna maintain them the way they were. And
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm a huge health fanatic. Yeah, if you follow me on socials, if you know me personally, health is very important to me. So, because you know, especially in our household, we strive for a healthy lifestyle
Yeah.
so that we can be in each other's lives for as long as possible, God willing, as far as we can control. Also make sure that we raise our daughter as active as possible. I don't want to be in a position where I struggle to do things with Amava as well, because I'm sick, I'm always fluey. And also I don't want to put her health at risk with like smoking, for example. Smoking for me is like, no. I mean, in the previous video, our couples quiz video, my husband mentioned how I'm like a germaphobe. So I mean, if he was a smoker, I don't even think we would have gotten very far, because I'm very fussy and all of that. But just in general, like health-wise, it's just not worth it. Yeah, and I wouldn't have been with someone who drinks and smokes. I know, like, it's really no judgment to anyone else, but like what Anile said, this is like my life partner. This is someone who I'm living with every day, who's in my space every day. And I think when we were discussing this video, we even mentioned, or I mentioned that imagine if he was a smoker and now I'm seeing him around our daughter, especially as a newborn. He's gonna go outside, puff puff, and then come back, and me as the germaphobe, I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, like it would have caused more tension if I compromised on my values, because now I'm like, why are you kissing our baby? Did you brush your teeth? Like I'm now being a nag, because it's not something I want, and maybe I tolerated it for myself. But as a mom, when you become a parent, you just really want the very best for your kids.
Yeah.
So now it would have put strain on the marriage. So it's just something, definitely a no-go area. Yeah, for me and for both of us. But yeah, that's my reasoning.
Yeah, and you must remember, when you're choosing someone who's going to be your life partner, don't let the honeymoon phases dim your judgment, and you start lowering your standards. It's up to you. This is someone you're choosing for yourself. Don't choose them because of someone else, or someone else is telling you, no, it's not that bad. If you feel something is bad and you don't like it,
conviction of yours.
The decision you need to make when you're choosing someone is, can I tolerate this? Am I okay with this? I might not like it. Of course, there are deal breakers, and then there are other things which you might not like but aren't really deal breakers. So for this particular section, we're just discussing the deal breakers for us.
Yeah, that's very important. And you also you don't want to be now in a position where you're forcing another person to change themselves.
100%.
It's the worst thing. You're not gonna force someone now to stop smoking and be like, it's for your health. That's their own personal decision. So in the dating phase now, like, if you see that, okay, this is something that this person enjoys, and yes, they might tick the other boxes, but you are in no position now to be like, because I want you to fit in the box or the ideal for me, let me force you to be this way. It's best, I know it's hard, but it's best to part ways and just pray and hope, if you're someone who prays, and hope that they, make that decision for themselves because they really want you in their life, not for you to force it on them. You can't force it on them. So that's very important in dating as well. Don't force someone else to now comply to your values and be like, oh, but this person is handsome, they have a stable job, they do this, they do that. They just are not super good with their health, and they really enjoy drinking and habbly babbly and all of these things. They're not going to change. Like, you can't force them to change for you. If that's something they enjoy, they have to come to their own conviction in their own time. So yeah,
100%. And right, the final one is the spiritual life. It's not the last, it's the last one we're discussing, but it's actually the first one in terms of priority. Because we didn't know how long the video would be. So we didn't want to stick too long on it. With spiritual life, for me, why that would be important, or why it was important back then. Granted, we were very young, but I believe you see someone's character, you start seeing how strong they are, or how resilient they are when they are meeting challenges. And so when I start meeting challenges, my go-to instinct is to pray, is to consult with God, and that's how I get myself motivated. And so I wanted to see that in my partner as well. I wanted to see someone who takes praying seriously, someone who takes the God's presence in their life quite seriously. And so, yeah, when I saw that in Michelle, how she was a positive person, would encourage me to read. She loved it when I shared Bible verses with her, and I shared certain biblical concepts and biblical discussions, and those are things that I found important. And so when I saw her warming up to them, and also engaging and also prioritizing that in her life as well, it was very, very beautiful for me to witness and just confirm the decision that I had already made. That no, I'd like to date this person, get to know them better. Sorry guys, we had a little disruption with our camera there. But as I was saying, that was very crucial for me to make that decision to choose her as not only someone I would date, but someone I would like to build with. Because when you're young, we were quite young. When you're young, you make a decision and you think your life will end in 3 days, So I was obviously looking further than just dating her. I was looking for a partner who's going to be there for me for life.
Yeah, and then in terms of my personal view, why this was not something I would even compromise on, is that, just to reiterate again, this was the man that I was going to raise my family with, who my children were going to look to as an example, and who also I needed to look to as a spiritual anchor as well. So it was very important. That was the most important thing, that they have God as their foundation, that God is their everything, that their principles and values are led by God, and that despite me and whatever I may do, however I may act crazy or be terrible, that they are not dependent on me to be a good person. They are dependent on God, and that is their foundation. And for him to be that way when we met, as young as we were, teenagers, kids, that was something that was so amazing, so beautiful, so important, and which I valued the most completely. That's really what drew me to him, because I could see God in him and how he behaved, in his character, in his personality, in his passion for God. Despite me, not to impress me, he was just passionate for God, and he's just always loved God and loved people as a result. And even seeing him, up in church, always so proud to see him working for God, preaching for God with so much passion, and just knowing scripture, looking to his Bible just of his own inclination, not because I'm pestering to be like, hey, let's read, let's pray. I needed someone who was a spiritual anchor to me, and who would lead our household in prayer, and who would lead me closer to God. And he really, at that time in my life when I met him, was the biggest testimony of God's love for me, because of how rooted he was in God, and how God was his everything, really, and how God shaped his character and his values, and how when I would think of him, I would automatically think about God and God's love. And it's like he was drawing me nearer to God. God was using him to draw me nearer to him. So I think that was this definitely is not some Mickey Mouse relationship or Mickey Mouse guy. This is a solid guy who I would be so proud to raise my children. And so far, I'm incredibly proud that he's raising our daughter, and we get to raise her together on those principles and those values. So that was definitely not something I was going to compromise on. That was important to me. And even when I thought that I would not get married, because as a teenager, when I would pray and I would think briefly about relationships, not as a huge thing, but I was like, Lord, should I even consider getting married, this person has to be out of this world and super, super close to you. There's just no way. They have to show me you in a way that I can't even understand. And thinking that maybe God would answer that prayer in 10 years or something, he brought this teenage boy who was so rooted in God that I was like, God definitely exists, because if he can exist, God exists. So yeah.
Wow.
So
Hey.
yeah, that for me was a super important thing. I could go on and on, but yeah.
Yeah, I think something happened with our camera there.
I hope this, I hope it caught it.
I think this
Please.
part, we need to redo
Yeah.
it, Yeah, I think you can start there by
No.
how great I am,
Yay.
Oh wow, that was really nice to hear.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it before. I do hear it a few times, but every
Yeah,
time
I
I
try.
hear it, yeah, it's really amazing to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's our list. It's just 4 things. There's a lot more we can add.
Exactly.
But we just decided to leave it there for now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we might have a video that follows up on it, depending also on the interaction we get from you guys. But yeah, these were the 4 things we felt were deal breakers.
Yeah,
when we started dating.
Yeah, but we hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and please do share this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, guys. Bye.